Hi besties, welcome back to my channel, or hi, my name is Stacy if you're new here. So today's video is just going to be a fun, casual get ready with me to do this fall inspired makeup look. I also use some new fall makeup that I haven't tried out yet on my channel, as well as just other new to me makeup. So it's not necessarily new to the market. So if that sounds good to you, then just grab a little snack or a little fall drink and get ready with me. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, because it really helps on my channel and it would really mean a lot to me. And let's just get right into the video. Okay, first up is the lip treatment. So I actually got these Summer Fridays butter balms. It comes from the holiday set. I'll insert a picture here. But yeah, basically I got the set that has all of the shades, and I've never tried these before, but I've been using these all fall so far. I've been using this brown sugar shade a lot. It looks pretty true to like the tube color. It's kind of like a brown shade that has like a berry undertone. I'm gonna use this vanilla beige shade today. And this is like the first step of my makeup routine because I have chronically dry lips. So I have to put a lip balm or gloss on in the very beginning of my makeup routine so that by the end I like wipe it off and it like also exfoliates all the dead skin, and then I have lips that are perfectly prepped for like lipstick and stuff. Okay, and also like these lip balms are super hyped on TikTok. Honestly, I really like these. Like I don't usually purchase that many lip balms. These are super nourishing and they're like very glossy for a lip balm. So I've also been using them as glosses. Like I've used some lip liner and then the Summer Fridays lip butters on top, and they do offer pretty good tint. It's pretty sheer, but you can like still see it, and my lips are very like unpigmented, so I do need some kind of tint going on. So I just wanted to show you guys these because these are really nice. Also, they have like this faint vanilla scent, but it's not too sweet. Like it's a nice vanilla. So now let's get into foundation. This trick that I've been using for the past like month or so is this spatula trick. It's like this viral method of applying foundation in Korea. Like all the Korean makeup artists and like celebs and also beauty influencers use this. So I was like, maybe I need to try it out. I'm gonna show you guys how I've been doing my foundation. I'm gonna go in with my Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. I've been really liking this fall. I haven't made a YouTube video with this yet, so that's why I wanted to show it in today's video. This has been one of my go-tos this fall, and this is in the shade 2.5, which is supposed to be cool tone, but it's really like not cool toned. Like I consider myself to have more of a neutral undertone. Actually, my face is cool, but I think like my neck and stuff is like a little bit warmer, so I just go for a neutral tone. But, like, does this look cool tone to you guys? This is definitely not pink. It's like kind of neutral in my opinion. So anyways, you want to take the spatula and you just kind of want to coat like one side of it like this. Sorry, it's kind of hard to like show it on the camera because I can't see what's going on. It'll look something like this on the edge, and then you just kind of start spreading it across your skin. But yeah, you spread it, like you literally spread it across your skin like butter. You can see it spreads so nicely. So the point of the spatula trick is to basically apply like the thinnest layer of foundation possible to your skin, and then you want to blend it out however you normally would blend it out. But basically, it prevents all the problems that you would get from like over applying foundation. Even if you like put it on your hand first and then put it on and like spread it across really thinly, it still won't be as thin as using the spatula. If you guys can see that. So yeah, then you don't get cakey makeup throughout the day. It doesn't crease. I feel like I even get less oily just because I'm applying less product. Obviously, this Hourglass one is also more of like a satin matte finish, I would say. It also helps spread the same amount of product over like a larger surface area, so you're just getting the best bang for your buck, you know? I also will say that I think this is better to do with like higher coverage foundation, just because like that way you're still getting the coverage, but like with the least amount of product. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. Like you're still covering what you want to cover, but with less product. So I feel like if you're like a medium coverage girly, I think you'll like this trick, because obviously with this trick you're not going to get full coverage just because you're applying such a thin layer of foundation. I will link the one I got down below from Amazon, but mine is like, I think it's shipped from Asia. Mine took a while to get here, but it did get here. So I also will link another alternative. It's not the exact same one, but it's like kind of similar. And yeah, both of them are like under $10, I think. So it's like not a bad price. Also, I posted this hack on TikTok and someone mentioned like, oh, if you don't have perfect skin, like this hack doesn't work. I feel like it still helps with the overall like cakey foundation problem. But I'm just saying, because if you do have like acne, like I have right now, you can just spot conceal in those spots. So it's like you don't necessarily need to have that like super full coverage like over your entire face, you know? Like even people with acne, I know a lot of them like prefer a sheerer coverage over the face and then like spot concealing. Like I know a lot of creators like Samantha Ravindal, etc. like recommend doing that. So I feel like even if you have like acne prone or like blemishes on your skin, like you can still use this hack. I feel like it will still benefit everyone. But obviously, like if you're a full coverage baddie and you only want like full coverage, like I guess you wouldn't like this. I feel like for anyone else, I think this would be helpful. It also makes like more full coverage foundations look more natural because you're just using less and it's like really like sinking into the skin. You can see I'm using the Hourglass foundation, and it's more of like a medium coverage foundation, I would say. And on the more satin matte side, I feel like it still looks pretty natural though. Okay, another thing I've been doing is using this green NYX concealer. Looks like this. And I've been concealing these broken capillaries like right under my nose. They're like super red, and even like my full coverage concealers don't cover it. So I'm like, I guess I need to use a green concealer. Let me just... You don't want to use too much, as you can see. I'm gonna put some on my acne too, because it's like pretty red. It kind of hurts. Guys, anytime I wear a mask, I always get acne, like maskne. So during like the peak of COVID, it was really bad. Like I was breaking out, and I hadn't been breaking out like, you know, in recent years until COVID. I should have done this green step first, but I forgot. But yeah, I definitely do recommend like spot concealing before you put on your foundation. Okay, now I'm gonna use my Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealers. So this is what I do when I have acne. This is like the Acne Holy Grail concealer. If you know, you know. So also I have to mix these two shades. I have Chantilly, which is this lighter one, and Madeleine, which is this darker one. Because the light one's too light and the dark one's too dark. And then like the in-between shades, like I feel like I'm the depth of the vanilla shade, but that one's very pink, which I think could work for like under eyes, but like not for spot concealing, you know? So anyways, I just mixed these two. And you just want to spot conceal. Again, I probably should have done this in the first step, it's fine. And then I take my Bobbi Brown color corrector, and I'm actually starting to hit pan. Isn't that cool? I like never hit pan on things. But yeah, this is the shade Light Bisque. I've just been using this to color correct my under eyes because they are dark. I think it's harder to tell that I have dark circles on the camera, but like you can kind of see the difference, right? I feel like my under eyes are a little bit hollow. Like I would get filler if it didn't migrate. I'm too scared to get filler because it like migrates and then makes your face swollen. I just blend that as a base. And then we're gonna go into our concealer. I think I'm gonna go into my Pat McGrath concealer. I've actually been using this a lot recently, and this one's pretty on the fuller coverage side. I don't know if it's the fullest, but it definitely is on the fuller side. Okay, besties, and now that we're looking like a ghost, because everything is blanked out, let's put some contour, shall we? I'm gonna use the Fenty Amber Matchsticks. Still my favorite contour color. I drew it on the brush directly. This is the Patrick Ta contour brush. Then I'm just gonna draw on the nose contour. Anyway, that definitely brought back dimension to my face. Okay, now I want to get on some blush because I'm still looking a little colorless, you know? So I have two new holiday blushes right here. So we have this Nars set, and it looks super cute in this like star packaging. And then we have the Fenty cream blush called Double Cheeked Up, and it's our first cream blush duo, I think. I think this Nars one I'll use separately, but I will swatch them for you guys. This is a holiday set, and I knew I had to get it because I love this shade. It's based off of the shade Behave. This is the Behave powder blush, and you get a mini in that. It's basically like a nudie mauve color. And then they gave us this little Nars the Multiple, and also I love this soft matte packaging. Like it's very luxe, even though it's a tiny little mini. And this is Behave in the stick. This is what she looks like. So again, it's like that nudie mauve shade. It's not super cool toned also, I would say. It's just like a pinky nude mauve. Doesn't really have any purple in it. And then you have a full size of the liquid version. So I'm pretty sure this liquid version only comes in this set because I love these Nars liquid blushes and I've never seen a Behave be sold before. So that was kind of what made me want to buy this. Also, I haven't tried their multiple sticks yet. I've heard good things though. And then I do already have the Nars Behave blush, so I might just give this mini away. But yeah, like it's a really good set if you don't own Nars Behave and if you like these like pinky mauvey colors. Yeah, like isn't this shade so pretty? So this is the liquid Nars Behave. I'll do some swatches for you guys. This is Behave, the liquid unblended. Also, these Nars liquid blushes are super pigmented. That was one drop, and you can see how you have like this really opaque color. Like with this one drop, you can do both cheeks. Like very pigmented, it's giving Rare Beauty, but it's more liquidy than Rare Beauty. And I would say like not quite as pigmented because Rare Beauty is super pigmented, but definitely like put it on your hand first and then apply to your cheeks, especially because it's like a very runny liquid formula. And then let's swatch this multiple stick. So this is like their cream blush, which I've never tried this formula before. So this is a lot sheerer and it's definitely more of like a balm texture. Oops, it's kind of like melting. I think this would be really pretty on more like natural makeup days. That's the stick. And it's definitely more dewy. I would say the Behave liquid, it doesn't like fully set down, but it is like more set, I would say. More like a satin sheen, and then the stick is definitely more glowy and dewy. And then for the powder, so that's Behave on the bottom, right here. So yeah, they're all very similar. Definitely the liquid is the most pigmented. And yeah, I think it's described as like a dusty mauve or something, but it's definitely like brighter and warmer on me. But like everything pulls warm on me, so that's why I like mauves in the first place. Yeah, it's kind of more like a nudie pink if you have a similar skin tone to mine. It kind of reminds me of like Rare Beauty Hope, which Hope is also described as mauve, but it's not like actually cool toned. Okay, and now I have the Fenty one, and this packaging is actually really pretty. It's the regular packaging, but it's like in this berry shade. And Fenty's holiday collection is very berry themed, so that's why the blush looks like this. They also came out with like lip glosses and stuff. I didn't get those because I have too many lip glosses. I mean, I also have too many blushes, but like it's easier for me to control myself on lip glosses compared to blushes. So that's how we landed here. I think I'm probably gonna use this because this is giving me more fall than these nudie pinks. This is more like the rosy nude shade, and this is the shade Malibu's. Okay, so actually Malibu's is a lot brighter than I thought. This is Malibu's, right? It looks like more of like, I don't know, like a rosewood shade. This is Malibu's on my hand. It's like a bright berry. And then going into this hot pink shade, and this is called Peony Droppa. Oh, like Panty Dropper. That's what it's supposed to be. Okay, this one's like more of like a cool pink actually. This is the Peony Dropper shade, and this is Malibu's. The Peony Droppa one is more of like a summer shade to me, and then this one's more of a fall shade. So maybe I'll just use like the tiniest bit of that. I'm gonna go into the Malibu's shade, and I'm gonna use it sparingly. These shades are also quite on the deeper and brighter side, so I know that at least it's gonna work for all skin tones. Yeah, that's like a pretty rosy shade. I think because I am going, you know, more light-handed with it, it's not looking as crazy. And you can like build it up or sheer it out. So yeah, this formula is quite nice. This is a nice like berry shade. This is giving fall. Like, okay, that's pretty. Maybe I'll add a teensy bit of this just so I can like show you guys. We'll just like do it as like a little pop on the apples. Okay, yeah, so it definitely is a brighter pink, but I think you can still kind of like pull it off, you know, and make it more neutral for fall. Also, these can blend out quite sheerly, but I didn't add much, so it's a very like sheer wash. But I do like that they're not super dewy, like they're not thick. They're more of like a thin cream formula, so that's what it's looking like so far. And it does add a little bit of a sheen, but again, since it's like a thinner formula, you don't like feel like a gloss on your face or anything. So I definitely recommend if you like these like berry tones. I don't have shades like this from Fenty. The only ones I have are like the purple one and like the baby pink, the baby hot pink one. So this was pretty good to add to my collection. Should I add some of this Nars one? Maybe I'll add some of the Nars one on top. I'm just gonna briefly blend. They're all kind of blending into each other now, so don't mind me. This isn't the best to show like the color differences. Yeah, I'm really liking this. This is definitely a fall cheek. I feel like it just made me look alive. I just look better. Okay, so I'm gonna do my brows really quick just to get them done off camera. Don't have any new brow routine. So I'm gonna go off camera to do that, and then I'll be back to do the eyeshadow. Okay, I'm back. So now for eyeshadow. I actually have a palette that's new to me, but not new to the market. So I'm gonna be going into this one, which is the Huda Naughty Nudes palette. And it looks like this. So I only just recently got this, even though it released like, I don't know, a year or two ago. But isn't like this the perfect fall palette? It has like very rosy, warm tones. I did not pick up the one that she released this fall, which is the Empowered palette, because I feel like that wasn't super like up my alley. And I already did reviews of other new palettes, such as like the Pat McGrath ones, Natasha Denona My Dream palette. That one's a really good one for fall as well. But I already made 2 videos with that. So I wanted to show you guys a look with this one because I've been really liking this. I've made like a few TikToks like where I just slapped this on like before the video because it wasn't like the main purpose of the video, and people kept commenting like, what do you have on your eyes? So this is a really pretty palette for fall. I definitely recommend. So I'm gonna go into the shade Hypnotic, which is just a really light transition shade. It's actually not that light as you can see on me, but it's funny because I get used to like K-beauty palettes and their light shades are like really light. So then when I go back to Western palettes, I'm like, ooh, like these are pigmented. And this is also a lot warmer than it looks in the pan. Like it looks like a neutral kind of almost taupey light brown, but this is more of like a terracotta. I'll put some on the bottom. Bottom lash line to me is like a necessary step, but I always like low-key forget about it, but it definitely like ties the look together better. I'm gonna go into a little bit of this shade called Filthy, which is like a really pale mauve shade. It ends up being deeper on the eyes than in the pan, so that's good for like most people, I would say. At least these are more like transition shades. They're not like setting shades, so like I feel like they have more use, you know. Anyway, that made it a little bit more pink, so I feel like it matches my blush better. It actually looks quite similar to my blush color. Also, these names are quite interesting, let's say. Like Arouse, Juicy. Huda, what are you trying to tell us? I'm gonna mix Arouse and Juicy. They're like a little bit of more deepening shades. Very pigmented. I feel like all of the shadows in this palette are a bit more pigmented than they look. Okay, so I think I want to go a rosier route, so I'm gonna go into this Irresistible shade. This is one of my favorite shades. It's like a rosy, I don't know how to describe it, a rosy bronze. You guys can see that color, right? Like it definitely has a pink undertone to it, but it doesn't like look straight up pink. If that makes any sense. I'm just gonna use this as the main lid color. And this is why I love Huda shadows, because her shimmers are just stunning. And the main thing I like about her shimmers, I mean, besides the fact that they're like high impact, is that they have lots of like micro shimmers. And I feel like Huda is one of those brands that I can always count on to make the shimmers with micro glitters in them. I'm talking about the kind where it doesn't like feel chunky or anything, but like you can see lots of sparkles. Really sparkly shimmers. I feel like a lot of brands, they're kind of inconsistent with the amount of sparkle they put in their shimmers. Like sometimes they make smooth metallics, but it's like I know Huda will always make the sparkly metallics. So I love that. Yeah, it's like Huda shimmers like right up my alley. And this is one of those shimmers where you have to like barely tap into the pan, you know? And it has like this almost like foiled effect. I think I just never picked up this palette before because the color story isn't like my go-to color story, but I do think it's perfect for fall. Like it's a little bit deeper, a little bit like redder, and a little bit warmer than what I usually like. But definitely when it comes to fall, I like leaning into those tones more. So that's why I picked it up this fall. Anyways, that was like super simple, but like super impactful. I think I want to add a little bit of gold, just like bring in some more fall vibes. So I'm gonna go into this shade called Tantric. Like, girl, these names. I mean, I guess it's not as bad as like Pat McGrath, because she puts SEX in every other eyeshadow name. Also, the only reason why I censor myself is just like because I'm scared I'm gonna get demonetized. I don't actually know like the policies, I just know that YouTube is pretty strict about that. Same with TikTok. So I'm always censoring myself on the internet. Also, I think that gold really did something. Like, that's pretty. This combination. Yeah, I just realized that in my videos I never curse, but that's for monetization purposes and also like to like sound more professional, I guess. But yeah, in real life, like I don't care about cursing. It's whatever. I just thought it was kind of funny because I realized that I don't think any of you have ever heard me curse. I mean, it's not like I curse that much, but not in my videos. Anyways, I'm loving how this eyeshadow turned out. Like the mixture of colors. I think I'm gonna go into this spicy shade because I believe this is the deepest shade, but this shade Untamed also looks very similar, but it looks a bit lighter. We're just gonna go into Spicy and use that as a shadow liner. I love doing a shadow liner. That's pretty much how I do my eyeliner. Unless I'm doing like a special look or something. It's quicker, and I also like that it looks more natural. Like I like my eyeshadow to be the center of attention, you know, on my eyes. But sometimes I don't like how liquid eyeliner looks super sharp and you can like tell that it's like a very separate entity from like your face. Yeah, I just think it's interesting how I feel like people think you have to do liquid eyeliner with like every look, you know? But for me, that's like never the default. So anyways, this is the eyeshadow all done. So now I'm gonna just do my lashes off camera because it takes me forever, and I'll be back to finish up the face. Okay, so now I'm back and here's the eyeshadows all done. It's super pretty, like this rosy terracotta kind of vibe. Okay, and now for the lips. So I actually bought these Cosmetics, what are they called? Soft Spoken lips. I got all the colors, but I'm just showing you these two. Yeah, these are like her new matte lip creams. And I think I'm gonna go in with 2 colors actually. Okay, and Michelle Phan says that these are like the best matte lip creams ever. And I actually have tried one of them. I wore them yesterday. And I have to say, they are very, very good. Like, it might become one of my current faves. Let me line my lips first. I'm using a Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. I always blend out my lip liner. But anyway, these are supposed to give you like super blurred out lips, and that's exactly the kind of lip look that I like. So I'm gonna try on this shade called Manifest. Also, I am gonna make a TikTok swatch video of everything, of all of these like on my lips, but I'm just not gonna do it today because I'm also running out of time. Ooh, this is very orange. It's cute though, it's like a pumpkin color. This is very fall, which is why I wanted to try this, and then I'm gonna layer another color on top to make it less orange. But for fall, I'm really enjoying orange, which normally I steer away from, but it matches the fall spirit. It definitely is like a pumpkin color. So also, Michelle Phan kept talking about like how this applicator, it was meant to mimic a finger. You can kind of see how it has like this weird shape, and it's like super flexible, and I do feel that like it's very soft, and I feel like it is a really good applicator. Like it blends out the edges super nicely. Actually, I think I put too much of this color because I wanted it to be a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna like blot it off in a bit. It's super soft. It definitely is reminiscent of like those MAC Powder Kiss lipsticks. There were Beauty Matte Souffle ones, like K-Beauty Velvet tints. Definitely like similar vibe. It has silicone in it. I think this is one of the best formulas. And also I was not paid to say this, like I bought this with my own coin. Because I was really suspicious as to like how it would compare to my K-Beauty lippies and stuff like that. I have to say, it's like one of the softest formulas, one of the most hydrating feeling. Obviously it's not gonna like literally hydrate your lips, it's just like it feels like there's moisture in there for a matte lip. It also is quite matte. Some of the K-Beauty Velvet tints, they actually aren't very matte, like they have like a sheen to them. unless you blot them down. But this one is matte, not a drying matte. It definitely has moisture in it. Obviously it's not going to moisturize your lips as much as like a lip gloss, a lip balm, lip oil, whatever. But it's like as hydrating as a matte lip could be. Especially love how blurring it is, super pretty. I have chronically dry lips, so this does work on dry lips, but you don't want it to be like super cracked, you know what I mean? You still want to exfoliate like how you would basically for any like good lip application. I feel like you don't want like a lot of dead skin on there. But yeah, for like regular dry lips, I think it definitely like covers over that. I also think it's pretty good at sticking to the inside of my lips, because sometimes I notice like lip products like lift off of there and like get really weird or like get like white lines. The other thing that I do think makes this stand out from some other like matte lip cream silicone formulas is that it's not as thick as some of those. I don't know if you guys know that like silicone feeling, but for some of them it's like very heavy and you can like feel it on your lips, and you can feel like there's like a layer of something on top, like sitting on top. So for me, I don't particularly like that feeling. Like I prefer it to be a little bit thinner. I don't need to be like super thin because I do like it to have some substance where it can like fill in lip lines and like and cover over everything. But yeah, like this is like one of the thinner formulas, I would say. Like it's thinner than the MAC Powder Kiss liquid lipsticks. It's also thinner than the Rare Beauty ones. I think the price of these is like $24. So it's in between Rare Beauty and MAC. Yeah, it's like thinner than the Peri Peri Ink the Velvet ones. So basically I do think this is a very elevated formula. I think it's really nice. I have seen some people say like, oh, it's like no different than those other ones, but I personally think it's different. The question is if it's different enough for you to warrant buying one of these. I definitely think you guys should try it. They're out of stock at this moment, but they're working on restocking, so it should be restocked soon. But I definitely recommend trying at least one, because so far I'm like really liking this. I have no complaints about this. So anyway, as I was saying, like because it is like a thinner silicone formula, it's like a little bit more transfer proof than some of those other ones. So let me like look. See, it wasn't advertised to be transfer proof, so it's actually like better than what it says. I don't believe it was advertised to be transfer proof, but you can see there was no transfer. It does kind of like transfer a teensy bit of like that silicone layer, but not as much of the color really. And if you eat, it will like come off, like especially if you eat oily stuff. But anyways, I'm just saying like it does have like a really good lasting power. It is quite thin on the lips compared to a lot of the other like lip creams of this type. So I do have to commend Michelle Phan, because I think she said she worked on this formula for like years and she wanted it to be like the best matte lip formula out there, and she like was really hyping this formula up, which is why I wanted to try it out. And I do have to say, it kind of lives up to the hype. Like, is it the best #1 lip ever? I'm not sure, but like, it's definitely up there. I'm very impressed. The only thing I would say is like, I wish there was a more variety of colors, because they're all kind of like rosy tones. I wish there were more like nudes. She did come out with like a new Flutter shade, which is like a really bright strawberry pink. I didn't get that because these just arrived when that one launched, and I'm like, and also like I don't really like those types of shades, but that's like a really good for a K-beauty type of look. Anyways, these are also really good for like a gradient look. I just love how they basically like blend themselves out, you know? Because they're thinner, they're also a little bit longer lasting. Like they're longer lasting than the MAC ones. They also transfer less than the MAC ones. As you saw, there's barely any transfer. The MAC ones definitely transfer. So all in all, I will say like it is one of the best matte lip formulas. I'm using 2 of the darker shades today, but they have like lighter shades. Then I'm gonna add a little bit more blush just because the lippy is a little bit dark. We're just gonna add some more color. Just adding some of the Malibu's color from the Fenty duo. Always got a blush at the end to make it match everything else. And some on the nose too. But anyway, yeah, so that's basically the finished look, and you can see, look at my lips. They look like photoshopped almost, you know? I'm gonna do a little TikTok video swatching all of them so you guys can see. But yeah, like I'm super impressed. So here's the finished fall inspired makeup look. What do we think? I really like how everything came out. It's like a little bit deeper, a little bit more red than what I normally go for, because I usually prefer like nudie tones, cool tones, etc. But it's kind of a vibe, right? Like it's a little bit more red. I like switching up my vibe depending on the seasons, you know? So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and just getting ready with me. I've been really into fall inspired makeup and just fall themed things. Like I've been loving pumpkin spice things, sweaters and skirts. I'm just loving the fall atmosphere. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed trying out some new fall makeup with me, or some new to me makeup, and that's about it for today. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked this video, and comment and subscribe down below if you want to see more content like this, because it really helps out my channel and it would really mean a lot to me. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.